Well, typically the majority of my work is done during the week at the shop. I guess race day I'm more or less here in case there's any major problems to kind of make a call or make a fix. But I kind of dive in and help the rest of the guys. So there's little monotonous stuff like pouring race fuel into containers for the guys to use. You know, putting oil in the spare engines, making sure they're ready to go. Unpacking clutches and assembling them into actual little kits so they're ready to go straight in the bikes quickly. Yeah, and then there's the tuning of the bike stuff. So you're monitoring what the air pressure is like, air temperature, and overall air quality. Making EFI adjustments if necessary. Obviously the bike kind of adjusts a little bit for itself, but there's times when you may want to get in and override that due to extreme conditions, such as like here at altitude in Utah. I'm not gonna say that I'm overly exerted on the weekends. The guys, the mechanics behind me here, they're the ones kind of busting ass. I'm more or less on hand if there's a technical issue. I'm not so much run ragged like they are. Like anytime something's not quite right, we really don't have a lot of time to fix it. So if you're gonna make a judgment call, it better be right, because you've got one chance. If you have a problem with the bike after second practice, you might have a 2-hour window, which is probably one of the longer periods, work periods. You got a 2-hour window before first moto. If you don't hit the nail on the head, you could be dealing with a guy that is unable to compete in that first moto, and obviously that's terrible scenarios. The worst thing for any of the crew to be involved with. So 90% of the time we have issues with electronics due to water or vibration and things of that nature. So quite often we'll have to do like a wholesale change. You don't have time to diagnose many of the problems, so you may just change everything head to toe. We've had a DNS with Barsha a couple of years ago, but we didn't even know we were faced with that problem until parade lap. So that wasn't like a problem that we misdiagnosed out of practice. We have an engine builder back at the shop, Mick Fallon's, and he builds all of our race motors, along with Kevin Wyndham's mechanic, Brian Kalmer, assisting him of late. They do all the assembly, but there's a lot of checks and measures to be done. There's you might have a batch of pistons and then you order another batch, and we need to basically quality control those and make sure that they are indeed what we ordered and that there's no mess ups. You can't rely on other people and just go ahead and put them in the bike. So there's little obscure things like that I'm doing midweek. Then once those guys have built the engines, I'm putting them in the putting them through the dyno test to make sure that they've made the cut that we can actually send them out to the race. That's kind of all I got to say on that one.